Hi, my name is Katie McDonald, and I'm an assistant professor of public health, food studies, and nutrition in the Falk College of Sport and Human Dynamics, and a faculty fellow at the Burton Blatt Institute at Syracuse University. I join you today from the campus of Syracuse University, a place where the horrors of institutions were exposed and the need to treat people with intellectual disabilities with dignity and respect continues to be pursued. As we walk in the shadows of our history and strive to break down barriers to participation in community life for persons with intellectual disabilities, I've become very curious about how these ideas are perceived and expressed in the context of research participation. I've become curious about this phenomena for three primary reasons. First, we have learned from the experiences of women and children that when we exclude those perceived vulnerable from research participation, we produce knowledge and evidence that is less inclusive and applicable to their lives. As a result, many are left further vulnerable as our science is ill-suited to promote their health and their well-being. Second, when we exclude people from particular spheres of participation, we communicate whether we don't believe them capable of contributing. And third, research participation represents a critical sphere of engagement in community life, one with both real consequences for the terms of participation and one where we can study the nature of more formal gatekeeping. We can do this because in many places of the world, research must be reviewed and ultimately approved by persons independent of the research team in order to ensure the proper treatment of those engaged in the inquiry. As such, there are principles and policies that inform these research practices, and decisions that are explicitly made about the terms of engagement. The contemporary context in which research participation occurs is situated decades following the onset of the disabilities rights movement. This movement advances civil rights questions important to people with disabilities, including access to equal opportunities to partake in and benefit from community life, being treated with respect, and having the right to lead self-determined lives. As society grapples with these questions, tensions between protecting those who may experience greater vulnerability to exploitation and harm and promoting autonomy persist. These competing values inform how we engage adults with intellectual disabilities in the generation of knowledge. It is within this context that Colleen Kidney, a graduate student at Portland State University, and I wrote the paper, What's Right? Ethics in Intellectual Disabilities Research. In this paper, we examine scholarly writings from across the globe on ethical issues related to including adults with intellectual disabilities in research. Of this scholarship, we ask a few questions. Where are we? What does the field have to say? And what are these positions informed by? I hope you'll read the paper and join us in advancing the conversation of what is ethically defensible in conducting research with adults with intellectual disabilities. There's a role for all of us to play in this discussion. Teachers, researchers, people with developmental disabilities, family members, service providers, policymakers, and so on. And articulating the values, the principles, and the practices that guide how we treat those we engage in knowledge generation. We hope this paper stimulates discussion, and we look forward to hearing your thoughts.